Hey there, welcome to Contracts and Chaos. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to tell you that you are not alone in the mayhem of this real estate industry.
We're keeping it real and sharing our stories, strategies, and successes in today's real estate world.
So come join us every Tuesday while we talk contracts and chaos.
Okay, so we just did an episode about decluttering for 2026, y'all. Make sure if you haven't listened to that you listen to that one. But as we went through our episodes that were the most popular this year, one of them that stuck out the most was our TC episode, where we spoke with the closing girls about how to utilize a TC and what that looks like. This, I think, is going to be a great tip. If you haven't done this already with your business and you're at the point where you need to leverage, re-listen to this episode. Maybe there's something in here you can utilize. And hire that TC. I promise you, it's going to take so much of a load off your shoulders. What do you think, Brenna?
Well, I got to tell you, we did this interview with the closing girls because Alyssa was working with them, and she's like, no, listen, you really have to talk to these ladies. You need to use a TC. And I had a dumpster fire, situation with a transaction coordinator and swore I would never do it again. But since that episode back in, oh God, it's been over a year now that we did this interview with them, I've been working with a transaction coordinator with their company on every single transaction. I think we're almost up to 30 transactions that we've worked on together. And I won't look back. Like this interview with them answered enough questions for me to then, after the podcast interview, call Mary and be like, okay, listen, I have like 3 more questions, and then I have a listing coming up. I really think I want to try it out. And that try it out has turned into the best decision for my business so far. I think I've got so much time back, and we've talked about this in a couple of episodes, where really the amount of time that I got back from not doing the paperwork pieces, like there was this first quarter, and first quarter is not my busy quarter. I had 7 closings, right? So
Right.
that's amazing.
Well, and I think it goes back to that lesson that my dad taught me a long time ago. If I can pay someone to do something for me for less than it's going to cost me, or for less money than I can make while doing something else, then do it. And that's what leverage is. And that's what a TC does. They make it so that we can be out there doing the things that make more money and bring in more deals.
Yes.
So give it a listen. I think it's a fun episode. It has a lot of information. And if you have questions or want us to put you in contact with them, reach out. We'll give you their information.
Yeah, absolutely.
See y'all next year.
Bye, guys. Recording. Okay. Take it away, Alyssa, because you have worked with these lovely ladies already, and I need an introduction
Well,
as
you know
well.
what's funny is I don't actually work with them. So Amber and Mary run a team called the Closing Girls, and it's a transaction coordination company. And Emily is my transaction coordinator. She is my right hand and my left hand. Not even gonna joke. And when Amber, so when you start with them, you do like an intake call. And I feel like Amber plays matchmaker. Like, I need you to do this with my dating profile too, because
Listen, I feel
Oh,
like
good.
spot on. Emily and I are like long lost sisters, best friends. Like, we're sending back and forth pictures of kids, of the cats, like the new car. Like, it has become not only just a working relationship, but an absolute friendship, and it's beautiful. It's
I love that.
my business was growing this year, but my business is growing so much faster right now because I have a transaction coordinator, because I have Emily. She's phenomenal. I can't say enough about her. At some point I'm going to ask you for her mailing address so I can start sending her presents, because she's amazing. But so today, if y'all haven't caught on, for listeners, we are having conversations with Amber and Mary. They own, and guys, correct me at any point if I say anything wrong. They own the Closing Girls. It's a transaction coordination business run out of Charlotte, North Carolina area. I think, Amber, you're actually in Indian Land, right? Down there somewhere,
correct.
which is South Carolina. And they have a whole team that does transaction coordination for realtors. Is it just North and South Carolina? You have other states too, right?
No, Georgia and Vermont.
Okay, Vermont makes sense because that's where Emily lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and
Yep.
so we are going to talk to them today about how their business runs, how having a TC can help your business. You've heard me say multiple times in past episodes that like it's the best thing ever. And it truly is. Like yesterday, a client had a question about showing time, and I was like, I honestly don't know. I don't use that end of it. And Emily was like, I've got it. I'll talk to her. And I was like, Okay, cool. Thanks. Like I was gonna go Google it, but cool. So we just wanted to talk to you ladies today about your business, how things work, and how you can help realtors, with their business and how it complements. So I guess the first question is who started your company, or has this always been a joint effort? Because the first question I have is like, what inspired you to start a transaction coordination company, and how did you get into the world of real estate? But I don't know which one of you actually started this business.
We
Okay.
started together.
It's even
We
better.
did. So, yeah, in 2018, we were both working at the same firm. Amber was the office manager. I was the TC. So she was my boss. And we had some good friends who were realtors at the office too. And we had went to lunch with them one day, and they had mentioned something. I don't remember what it was, Amber, but they had mentioned something about you guys should really start your own business doing transaction coordinator work. But it wasn't really called that because back then there wasn't that many TCs in the area. So like you should start something to where you can assist real estate agents yourselves. And so on the way back to the office, me and Amber were riding together, and we were pretty silent too. And then we kind of looked at each other and we were like, maybe they are onto something. Like maybe we should do something like this. Um, so we got back to the office and we started talking about it and stuff. And then we realized, wow, there really is a need for transaction coordinators for those agents that can't afford a full-time assistant or part-time assistant or something like that. They can hire us for an as needed basis. And that's where the closing girls formed. It took us a few months to pull things together, and then we just
And you
took
guys are
off.
like gangbusters now.
That's
I know
amazing.
so many agents who use you. Like every time someone asks me, who's your TC? And I'm like, oh, I use Amber's company. Sorry, Mary. 'Cause I'll be honest, Mary, I didn't know you existed until recently.
A lot
Amber's
of people
always
don't.
been my go-to. But they were like, oh, we've
Yeah.
heard about them. So-and-so uses them and so-and-so uses them. And I'm like, yeah, we all use them because they're phenomenal. So how long?
Yeah, we've got several hundred
That's funny.
agents in the area that we work with that, yeah.
Wow. How do you keep all that
Yeah.
paperwork straight? That's my one and only question.
Because
Okay.
that's their only job. They're not out running around doing like yes, they're still in production, but not full time like we are. So that's the thing, like
Mhm.
that's their job.
That's what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think back to where we started, to where we only had like 5 agents. And we look back at our goals not too long
Oh,
ago, and it was like 40 deals a year or
yep.
something. I can't remember. And now it's like 1,200
Mhm.
a year.
Yikes.
So it's so crazy to see where we started and where we've come in almost 6 years now.
Yeah.
So
That is
Amber,
awesome.
can
It's
you
wild.
like walk us through the role of what a transaction coordinator does and how you guys like streamline that process for us as realtors? Because I think there's a lot of people, a lot of agents out there who the advice is the first hire should be a TC. It should be a TC. It should be a TC. And that was what I heard. And I hired one at one point and it was horrible. And I was just like, why was this the advice I was given? But I think it was because I didn't know what to expect and what to ask for.
Yeah. So I think that's the biggest thing I hear because, like you said, I speak to everybody that comes through here, right? I'm talking to them to see what their needs are and their experience with prior TCs, and I hear that a lot. I didn't have a good experience with prior
Hmm.
TC, and so I'm like, okay, so let's talk about why. What were the things, right? And it's the communication. Number one is the biggest. They didn't have a streamlined process of how to run their stuff and weren't knowledgeable. And and I never want to bash TCs that are out there because I think they're trying their best and they're trying to get into this world. But being an agent and being a TC are vastly two different things. That's one of our things that we always talk about is like it and you guys know, right? Like the behind the scenes stuff that we are running, a lot of agents are not aware of that. They don't have time to focus on that, right? And so that's what we're here to do. We're here to help streamline everything, to handle all the paperwork, to work with their clients so you guys can focus on getting out there, focusing on buying and selling and not worrying about the back end paperwork. right? We're going to make sure that the due diligence and the earnest money and those dates and the checks, the appraisals, we're going to order your inspections. We're going to coordinate that. We're going to put it on the calendar. We're going to coordinate that with your clients, making sure, that the price is okay. And if they're not okay with the price, then we're going to research again and try to get them, we look at their money as our money. The same thing with you guys. Your money is ours. So we're very particular about that. That's something I teach all the girls, is to make sure, if an agent is using an inspector that is $1,200, that we have an inspector that can do it for $6 and it's the same. Let's talk about saving money, because and it's a value
Mm-hmm.
add that we're able to do that and assist, and we have that knowledge because we run so many deals that we're really experienced in that. And so we're constantly always working on, we're all licensed. That's number one. We only hire licensed TCs. Okay, whether they're north, south, or both, or Vermont. But that for us is key, because we want to make sure they're keeping up with their CEs and with the new documents that are released every year, the forms. We get them, and then we teach our agents, right? We'll send out an email to all of our agents about that. Hey, here are the updates. This is what's happening. We can update your files if you want us to, and then we're doing training with our girls, making sure that they're aware of this compensation, right? This thing that just happened. What does that look like? We're setting up classes for North Carolina Commission and South Carolina Commission compensations with our girls to make sure that they understand what they're looking at. And I think for us, that's a key. That's key. And so a lot of TCs out there, they've got their blinders on and they don't want to branch out, right? They don't want to look out into that there's more than just paperwork, right? It's the making the connection, like what you said, Alyssa, about with
Mm-hmm.
Emily, that connection that you have with her, that's huge. And that's what this is, a partnership. This isn't a, I don't want to say employee, boss kind of relationship, but we try to not have it be that. We want to make that connection. We want to be your team. We want to be your biggest cheerleader. That's what this is about,
Mm-hmm.
so that's kind of,
I love that you said too, because um, it's a very different skill set being the out in the real estate world and doing the paperwork part of it. And some of us just, I mean, I do both, but I don't love the paperwork part of it, you know? So it would be nice to have somebody that is very good at that and loves doing that, just because I think that that makes agents look better too. You know, they're on top of everything and they're like, wow, like all of this is done, I's dotted, T's crossed. I didn't have to ask for anything. Everything's like handed to me on a silver platter. And I think that again, it's just a value add for us as well. It's a cost of doing business, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really just making us look better and better to our clients too, if we're
Mm-hmm.
taking really good care of them, because we have somebody in our corner making sure all of that
Yeah,
stuff's
and like the
done.
reason I was like, okay, I need to try this again, and I knew you guys came from a trusted referral, was because I was getting busy and I was missing dotting I's and crossing T's and having to send things back. And I was like, this makes me look sloppy. And I'm not sloppy, I'm just busy. And so
busy.
Amber or Emily takes
Mm-hmm.
care of all of that, and it's just everything looks nice in a neat little package, and it's great. It's I've not had one person say anything like, "Why do you hand this to to a TC?" And I talk to my clients like when we're discussing how things work. Hey, at a certain point, Emily will join us in this process, and this is how that works. And everyone's like, "Oh, that's great." I'm like, "Yep, it gives you guys much more attention." Um,
And you guys
Yeah, and we're
do.
able to handle those little things too, like sending your clients the utility information that you may forget about when you're out in the field or something like that.
Mhm.
And also, the paralegals and your lenders love us too, because we're able to get them
Yeah.
paperwork or answer questions when you guys are out showing homes and it doesn't take, 5 or 8 hours to get back to them. We're able to get back to
yes,
them within an hour on things. So they love us too.
yep.
It's amazing.
What's the most challenging part of like doing multiples at once? Obviously, no one's handling just one client, just one transaction. So for you guys, I don't know if you guys just manage or if you're still doing transaction coordination, but and maybe it's something you've heard back from your employees, what's the hardest part for them, the most challenging part of juggling so many things at once?
Yeah, maybe something that us as real estate agents could be better at supporting you too. Like if there's something that like, gosh, we really hate that all agents are doing this. Oh,
Right? Just
throw
let
that
us know.
back on
Give it
us a
to
little
me. Tell
bit.
me what it is.
I would say, okay, so I'll answer that one. I would say that our girls run up to 40 deals a month. right? So they're doing a lot of transactions. Okay. And I would say a lot of agents don't know that work with them. And a part of us, that's good. I want them to think you're my only client, Alyssa. Like I'm focused on you. When you're sending in something, I'm getting to, and you don't know in the background that she's got 10 other agents asking the same thing. Right. And so I would say for all of our girls is the biggest obstacle, is that the understanding that you are not our only that we're working with. But yet we want you to think you know what I'm saying? We don't ever want you to think that you're
Mm-hmm.
bothering us. We're getting to it. But some agents, I would say the hardest part is the ones that are everything's a fire and it really isn't. And like, I need it right now. It's right now. It's right now. And it's like, hey, I've got another one who's thinking it's right now too. So let me get to that. I'm going to get to yours and I will handle it that day. It just might not be in the exact time that you're wanting it handled. Now, if it's a five, like a legit 911, we'll get like this needs to ease up by 5. We'll absolutely get to it. But there are a lot of things that are not as urgent as agents may think they are, and we'll get to it. Like, so I would say it's that. But the organization part of how can they handle that many transactions, we use an awesome platform called Open to Close. And Mary and I have spent, I would say, years on perfecting and creating all the
Yeah.
different templates within there. We have about 30 different templates that we have, from a North Carolina cash buyer to a conventional to a spec home to South Carolina. But we have everything and all the different templates in there set up based on the different services that people are ordering. And then we have about 90 tasks per that one template that everybody is following. And it's based on dates. So it triggers off things on, due diligence date and closing. And we've had to set that up. Mary and I have had to we continue constantly to update it. When a girl says, hey, we need to add this is missing, or hey, it would be helpful if this is there, we're always like, let's add it. Anything to make your life easier, then we're putting that stuff in there. And so that's how they're able to manage as many deals as they have. Is because we worked really hard on the different systems and platforms that we use to make it, because we would not be this successful without it. I'll just tell you that now. And
Mm-hmm.
so when agents come in and they're like, I've had a bad experience with another TC, my thing is, well, what platform were they using? Because if they weren't using one, that's the problem. You cannot
That's why.
manage 40 of
Yeah.
these without a system. And it's
Mm-mm.
systems is the answer.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's
And
very
then,
similar to real estate too, because I mean we deal with the same thing, as far as we want our clients to think that yes, you are our only client, you're the only person that I care about today,
Yep.
but the goal is for them to not know that I'm running around with like a chicken with my head cut off for everybody
yeah.
else too. So I can totally understand that and appreciate it, because yes, systems, I mean that's how have been able to up to this point do it myself. But honestly, you know how much time I will get back, Alyssa, when I hire these closing
Yeah.
girls?
Trust me.
So much
I
time.
was
She's been yelling at me
I
for weeks
was
to do it. And I'm like, I just want to do the podcast first and then
well,
I'll
and
do
like
it.
I don't remember what I was doing the other day, but it was just like a normal around the house thing. And I was like, "Damn, I remember when I couldn't get this stuff done because I would have been elbow deep in paperwork right now, or chasing down this, or like I
Yeah.
used to say, okay, Monday, Tuesdays are office days because if we went under contract over the weekend, I have to order everything. Well, it doesn't have to be that way anymore. I don't have to be stuck at my laptop on Monday ordering the inspections, getting all the things done, because if we go under contract, I mean, and it literally happened this weekend. We went under contract Friday night. I uploaded everything in the system. And before I even got to my email yesterday morning, Emily was contacting the clients and like, okay, we're going to order the survey. And I was like, this is amazing. This is like so nice. I can like brush my teeth at a normal hour today. I'm loving this. Um, but what's like, I think one of the best parts about, I can't even say one of, there are so many best parts about using you guys, is handling the different personalities and the preferences for my clients. Like, that's one of the things I always talk to Emily about is, hey, heads up, this is what they're like. Just so she's not walking in thinking they're super cool like me. I mean, most of my clients are. But if there's something particular that I'm like, just so you're aware, like I had my first client with her didn't do email. So I was like, send it all to me. I will print it. I
Mm-hmm.
live 2 minutes away and I will bring it all to her. But so that's going to be a little different this time. But for you guys, what's how do you guys handle the different personalities and preferences of agents? Like, obviously we've talked about like them, some people forget that they're not your only client, but what are other things, other personality traits or preferences that you guys have had to handle, and how do you work through that?
So I will say like what you talked about, like I feel like it's a dating service. When everybody calls in and talks to me,
Yep.
I'm assessing their personality. And majority of them are all high maintenance, ADHD, just very, I wouldn't say high, but just
Type A.
Type A personalities. And I always tell them, join the club. Me too. I get it, right? It's hard to let go, but you've got to trust the process and trust that we've got this.
Mm-hmm.
We closed over 1,200 homes last year. Read our reviews. We understand the systems, and it's just letting go, right? But still, when I'm talking to them in my head, I'm going, who would they fit with? Who would they fit with? Okay. And just gauging who I think would be a good personality fit with them. And I always tell them, I feel like, yeah, I'm on a dating show. And I'm like, listen, if I partner you with one TC and it's not a good fit, if you're like, that personality doesn't really work for me, you're not offending anyone. We're all adults. You're not,
Mm-mm.
this is part of life. We want to make sure that who I'm partnering you with is a good partner, right? That you feel that connection with. And so I've had some go, hey, this is not a right fit. I don't, it's just not, there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't feel that connection. Can you move? Yeah, absolutely. That's why we have 7 of us here. We have that luxury of being able to transition and move you around. And I always tell every agent, when you come on, please, before you leave us because of a personality or whatever, let me know and I can transition you to another girl. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings because I give my girls the same thing. If I partner you with an agent who is not a good personality fit for you, you let me know and I will move them. And I tell everybody that. And it's just part of life. It's not to hurt anyone's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to make sure that you're happy and we're doing the best by you. And so that's kind of how I guess, we do that. But in the same sense, we're not always the right fit for agents, right? And that's
Mm-mm.
okay. And if it's hard for them to let go, if they can't trust the process, if it's hard for them to let go and let us do our job, guess what? We're battling and it's not intentionally. It's that we're trying to do our job, you're doing our job, and that really complicates things. So we'll have to step in. I'm more likely will step in with the agent and say, okay, this is what's happening here. Maybe we're not the right fit for you. If you can't trust the process, I don't, I always tell everybody it takes 4 to 6 transactions with us to go, they got it. I don't need to, I'll
Mm-hmm.
understand their systems. I know she's going to follow up on the DD, checked it. You can micromanage us at the beginning all day long. And that's okay because you're nervous and you don't understand. And we understand that. That's what I tell all the girls. Listen, imagine coming in and they're handing you the file and saying, now do it. And then they have no idea what you do. Right. So just
Mm-hmm.
follow us along. That's why I always tell everybody, like I said, we have 90 tasks. There's nothing we're dropping the ball on. It's really hard that we can because our system is telling us not to. So it's just, trusting it and then just, I guess, trust us. Like we've got
Oh my God,
back.
Yeah.
I love that.
And our process is super streamlined too. So you were talking about like different preferences of agents. Like not that we can't accommodate anything. I mean, we can't accommodate everything, but our process, we have it down so well, which is why we're able to do so many transactions. We can't make it personalized for every agent. It's just not possible. So, like Amber said, if it doesn't work for you, then maybe we're not the right fit. You just,
Yeah.
And I fell into
yeah.
that once with Emily. I like sent the contract to the attorney because I knew she was done for the day. And I was like, oh, I'm already in here. The next day, she was like, let me do my job. And I was like, I was just trying to take something off your plate for once. And she was like, but no. And I was like, okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay.
Like,
Yep.
sorry. But I also had the
Yeah.
same with her. Like, there was one day, and don't yell at her, ladies, where she texted me at like 5:45, and I was like, mm. It's Friday at 5:45. You were logging off now. And she was like, but I'm just catching up. Like something came up. I was like, no, we're done. Like it can, whatever it was. I'm like, it can be handled Monday. Go enjoy the weekend with your family. Like, no, we're done today. So like she does so much. I cannot.
Well, we appreciate you for
Oh
realizing
yeah.
her work life balance because
And
we
there have been
preach
times
that to
I've
all our
literally like sent
girls.
her a text message and been like, you are not to respond to me until tomorrow morning. But if I don't text you now, I will forget. So I'm sending this, but
I'll
don't
forget.
respond. And she responded and I said, I had one thing, one order in there for you was do not respond. And so the other day, I knew I would be traveling the next day. So I sent it as an email instead. I'm like, she's probably less likely to check her email after hours
To
than a
check email.
text
That's
message. So I
funny.
emailed her and I said the same thing. I said, you are not
So,
to look at this or to do anything until tomorrow, but I'll be driving and I know I'll forget to tell you this. Brennan, do you want to ask the next one?
yeah, I mean, I do. What is the most bizarre request that you've received from a client that you're able to share? So I know that a lot of like contract information you're not able to, but what is the most off the wall thing that you
Oh,
were
get
like,
ready.
question mark? Did you say that? Seriously?
So a lot of our bizarre requests will come from bill of sales and asking for things to be included.
I can see
And
that.
one time here recently, it was this year,
Mhm.
I had an agent ask me to write up a bill of sale to include 5 miniature potbelly pigs and 2 long-haired fainting goats.
But I feel like that also goes back to
I'm
like
not
if
lying.
anyone's taken real estate class in North Carolina, that goes back to the koi fish question, right? Like,
Yeah.
so because I literally
Yep.
have a property under contract with a pond that has goldfish in it. And I looked at my clients and I was like, do you want me to ask for these? And they're like,
Uh-huh.
no, it's fine. They're just goldfish. And I was like, oh, okay. But every time I see stuff like that, I'm like, that's the koi fish question.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it was
funny.
wild. And then the transaction even got weirder and there was some
Weirder than
horses that were
fainting goats.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a horse that was there and he wasn't supposed to stay with the property, but then I don't know, the owner had to end up and come back feeding it for 2 months because he couldn't
Oh,
find it somewhere to live. I don't know.
that's
It was
insane.
wild.
That is wild. That is wild. So, how I know that you guys have been in this what for almost just over 6 years, just under 6 years?
Just
Yeah.
under.
Yeah,
It'll
so
be 6 years in
I
October.
know a lot of changes have hit the industry in the last, especially even just a few months. So how do you see the role, your role as a transaction coordinator evolving over the next few years with these industry changes, with all the technology changes? Because I mean, some of these platforms are starting to do like that automation thing. And I mean, we hear it too, Alyssa, like, oh, real estate agents aren't
Right?
going to be needed anymore because AI and
Uber.
robots, right? Do you foresee that being an issue with transaction coordinating, or are you guys like us and there's just something that you're missing without the personal touch of what you guys offer?
Yeah. I don't see our role going away. Actually, I see it becoming more and more busier, to be honest. I think the human touch can never be replaced by AI. And I think, one of the things that we do, and Alyssa can attest to this, when you send in a deal, is we do a group text to her clients and then that agent introducing ourselves, and we're forming those communications. AI can't do that. I mean, obviously it can, but you're not going to get that real feel of, hey, what's going on with showing time? Like she said, Emily can jump on that and handle it. But AI, we use AI, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
we're growing with it. We're learning all the different systems that AI is coming out with, and we're utilizing it, right? And I think that's also what makes us stand out. Being a TC in this market is we're open to that. Technology for us is huge, right? We love Chat GPT. I'm all about it. I love that. And if agents are not using that to write their listing descriptions, I don't know what to tell you, but this is the 5 second, this thing will do it for you. We do trainings with our girls on that. I'm offering a social media class with the girls and teaching them how to use Chat GPT better. And, you can drop pictures into it and your pictures of your listing and say write remarks and it will do it.
Hey, don't give up our
Okay.
secret.
But you
Pro
all
tip.
should be. And so for us, I don't
Yeah.
think we're going anywhere. I think that, the fact that we're an as needed basis and not a full-time TC, right? Because a lot of agents they don't want to pay $50 to $60,000 a year on a full-time TC where they might not be busy, the ebbs and flows of real estate. But they will hire us because we're as needed and we're not offended when you're not using us on one deal and you're using us on another. We don't care. Do what financially makes
Mm-hmm.
best for you in this world. Do that, and we're just here just to make you, succeed and
I
be
use you
happy.
for everything. I don't like, I literally have you with, I was just looking, I've done 12 transactions with you guys, and I've done everything from new construction to we just put vacant land under contract, and I'm having Emily help with that too. Like every single thing. The only thing I haven't had help with is rental leases because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, it's literally me showing you
Oh,
a house
yeah.
and you filling out a lease. Like, I don't need a transaction coordinator for that. But since I started in May 12th, I think is the first deal with you guys. Yeah, I've done 12 transactions and it's literally been everything. Just here, it's because it's worth it. And if some to me, I'm like, I charge an admin fee to my clients, um, and I've never had anyone argue it. The only time we didn't collect it, which I could have, was on a VA thing, and I was like, honestly, I don't care at this point. Let's just get this deal closed. But, um, and there is a way to do that. We just didn't have it set up in the deal because the rules, everything was changing with all the new rules. But yeah, it just hire them, Brenna. Just do it. Just do it. I promise you. Like,
And that is the good thing about us is, like Amber mentioned, there's no
Mhm.
contract that you sign with us. So you can use this when you're busy. You don't have to when you don't. But also, some of the ones that you think that you might not want to use this on might end up being your most difficult transactions. People will think, oh, this is a cash land deal. It's going to close in 10 days. And then it drags out, and you're like,
yep,
what did I just
yep.
do?
Or
Why didn't
like
I hire them?
people say
It
new
happens all the
construction should
time.
be the easiest. Those have been two of my hardest deals this year because of
Hardest.
personalities. And so it
Yep.
was just like, okay, thank God Emily was there because I didn't think we were going to get both of them. I thought we were going to terminate at the last minute. And I was like, oh gosh. But yeah, they're worth every penny, every penny. And for every deal, like I said, even if it seemed like you said, it seems like a simple deal. Nope, I bring them in because, and they also, you guys have knowledge I don't have. Like there have been a couple times where even Amber, like watching from the outside, looking at emails coming in or text messages, has then texted me and been like, hey, did you know you could do this? And I'm like, well, I didn't, but now I do. Thank you. Yeah.
Now I
Or
do.
like there have been times where Emily and I'll chat about how do you think we should handle this? Like, what would you do? And we have one right now that we had that conversation and it was awesome because we were on the same page. I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. But
And I think that's something special about having those licensed agents too, because I know that there's some TCs that just kind of do this, like, I don't want to say on the side, but on the side, and they have no idea
Mhm.
about license law or anything like that. So I think having all of your TCs as licensed agents makes a huge difference. But beyond that part of it, what qualities do you think makes a good transaction coordinator? So when agents are looking to hire one, what would be those qualities? Of course, they're going to pick your company. We've heard all the good things, but what would you say should be like the top three things to look for in a transaction coordinator?
Well, I'll answer this.
So they need to be able to. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry.
You
I
go for
answered
it.
this one because I deal with this when agents call me up to, they're like, well, I'm interviewing others. I'm interviewing other TCs as well. And I go, you absolutely should. And I said, so let me tell you some of the questions you should be asking because it's something that's important. One of them is what platform are they using? If they say Excel, run. That's not it. If there's no way to track what they're doing with their tasks, then that's a huge, like, that's a red flag, right? How many transactions can they handle a month? You need to ask that question. Do they text and call your clients, or are they just email based and do not have that other extension of being able that connection with communication? Right? For us, communication is 100% key, and it should be for every agent. Right? If we're not all communicating together, then things get lost in the sauce, and that helps nobody. So it's the communication, the systems, the reviews, and the recommendations. Like, do they have reviews? Are they a company, or are they just a one-off TC that's doing it as a side hustle, just to make extra money and don't really understand the process of real estate? Because if they're not licensed, like what you were saying, then they don't understand. And maybe they do, some I'm sure do, and track it. But we've been through it. And because we all actually do work side deals ourselves, we understand the ebbs and flows of this. We understand how important an appraisal is. We understand how important a survey is, and things like that, that we're able to track. Right. And so I think that's really important, when agents are out there interviewing. Number one is systems. What are you doing? And are you keeping up with education in the times, right? Technology is huge.
Hmm.
What are you using? Like I said, the cell phone and things like that. Are you tracking it? So that's something definitely that they should be asking about, all the different things that they do. I'll let you go, Mary. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. Yeah, multitasking is definitely up there too, because we're running so many different files with so many different agents and firms. It's a lot to keep up with and keep up with who you're working on. So that's a big one. And making sure they speak professionally to you and your clients, and you have that good communication there, because you want to make sure that your clients are happy too. And then, yeah, being licensed is a big one. We already talked about that, but because since all of us are licensed, we all have to do CEs and keep up with the new forms that come out and things like that. So we know what's going on, and we're able to draft those addendums. And a lot of times, Amber's able to train agents on the new forms that come out, because they may not realize that a new form came out when we do. So
Yeah, and another thing we
That's
do
awesome.
for our agents is we set up dot loop and zip form templates for them. So I always will offer training to every new agent that signs up. And if you're not utilizing your systems, I look at all the different platforms that they're using and go, okay, wait a minute, why do you have dot loop, DocuSign, zip forms? What are you doing? This doesn't make sense financially for you. So let me tell you what I think the best way for you to run your business and to track everything should be this. And then now let me set you up templates. Not only am I setting you up templates, or Mary is, we're then pre-filling them out. So you should be able to write a contract in less than 5 minutes, or a listing agreement. We're putting them into your, like Real has different, documents and forms that they use. So we're uploading those for you. Every different agency has that as well. So we're using those, and we're setting it up for you to make your life easier. That's the goal. It's like, how quickly can we do that for you? And then we offer after hours contract write up. So after hours and on weekends, we're there to assist if any agent is on the run and is like, I need a contract written up quickly. They can just shoot our after hours text, and they'll respond back yes or no if they're able to assist at that time. But we're just there to make sure, we're available to you guys at any time.
And that was like
mm-hmm.
when I signed up with you guys, what you just mentioned, putting in the templates, was what my first moment of, okay, this was the right choice. Because I met with you, I think it was like late on a Friday afternoon. I can tell you exactly where I was sitting. I was at Brakeman's in Matthews, and there was a little kid climbing a tree, and I was really irritated. And I had the conversation with you, and I was like, well, we just got my listing under contract, so I'm going to send it over. And I got it all signed up. By the time I got home, because I filled out the form giving you all my information while I sat there. Now, it's a 35, 40-minute drive from my house to that coffee shop. By the time I got home, you had my templates set up, because I logged in to do something else, because I was like, I know you hadn't assigned me to anyone yet. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, it's done. I was like, okay, yep, worth every penny. All right. Because like I had templates, because I remember you asking me, like, do you have them? I said, they're in there. Can't say they're up to date. I built them when I first started. Every transaction, I'm like, I got to add this form. Yeah, it was done. And I was just like, this is amazing. Like, and now you're right. When I go in, it takes me 5 minutes. It's boop, 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 done. I'm like, this is
And I had
phenomenal.
an agent that she just responded the other day because I set hers up, or Mary did, and she sent a message and said, so that's amazing. And I've been in business for 15 years, and I don't know if I should laugh or cry that I never knew. I'm like, I'm so excited that they're there, but I'm going to cry that I've wasted 15 years of my life and I didn't know that zip forms had
Yeah.
templates. So thank you. She's like, that right there was worth it
I
all
will
along.
give,
Like,
I'll
what is
give my
happening?
first firm credit, because like when you are a new agent there, they make you take these 3 classes, and one of them, well, they're all about the forms, but she literally sits there with you in a room and makes you log into everything and build your templates. And then the next class is like, you have to have a printout of all the forms. And I still have them somewhere, even though they've changed, but the originals of like, here's the information, put in a note, this is how you fill out a contract. So like I said, I had built them 4 years ago, but they weren't updated. Like every time a new form came out, I was like, oh, I need to add that to the template. Never did. I'd get into a transaction and go, oh, I got to pull this in. But no, you guys, like, even with the new forms, like last month, forms were in there. But like on the 17th, boom, done. No questions asked. And I was like, okay, this is, hello, kitty cat. This is awesome. Like, this is amazing. Um, if you guys, so let's, last question, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'd like each of you to answer this. What's one piece of wisdom you'd like to leave the listeners with, like on the value of great transaction coordinators? Like, what is it that you wish people knew as agents to bring in transaction coordinators?
You want to answer it first, Mary?
Yeah. it's important to find a team that you work well with that's going to be a good partner. Like Amber had mentioned earlier, it's more about the relationship for us. We want you guys to succeed as well as, us succeeding too. But if you aren't succeeding, then we're not doing our job. So that's what we're here for, is to make your life easier, to make your clients happy, to make you happy, and for us to have raving fans. So having that good partnership with our agents is super important to us.
Yeah, and I'll back that and say also communication, right? If you're an agent who you're not communicating with your TC, it's gonna fail, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to treat us like we're your partner and give us all the knowledge. That's why we do the group text, because we can see what you're sending to your clients after hours or on the weekends. We're looking at it. We're just not responding, but we see what's being said and we're like, oh, price change. Okay. So then we're going to side text you. You want us to do that price change? We see it in there. What's going on? Yeah. So it's that, and sharing information with us, sending us when you have done something on nights or weekends that you executed, just email in your TC. Here you go. This is what's happened in the change. So for me, yeah, communication is key, and that we're your partner. We want to make, like Mary said,
Mm-hmm.
nothing makes us happier. You should hear us when, like Alyssa, if you get a $1 million deal or whatever, we're all in a group thread. Alyssa just got $1 million deal.
Oh my gosh, that's
We get all
awesome.
excited, or we'll text our agents. If I've got one that had like a 2 million, I'm telling her, that paycheck, girl, I'm so excited for you. Like, we're so thrilled when they get, because we can see the status level going up for them, right? And know they're
Mm-hmm.
thrilled, because we all would be, right? Like, that's awesome as realtors when you get this amazing deal, or when you're running 10 a month, you're like, oh, this is like the height of, we're your biggest cheerleaders. We're your biggest fans. It makes us so happy to see, because we're starting with you and seeing you grow. And when you get there, nothing is more thrilling. All of us, we
Mm-hmm.
will go, you all got to check out Alyssa's new listing. Everybody get online. We're all going to screen share, and we're going to look at the pictures.
We send the link.
Have the
Yep.
link out, look at the pictures. Now, mind you, we do that on some ones that are not so nice. We just like to just,
We all do
okay, go in and
that.
look at the toilet in the middle of the bedroom. What? We're gonna go take a
Yeah.
look. But it's so awesome. I mean, listen, we are the back end paperwork nerds. We love what we do. I mean, I think that's also what stands us
Mm-hmm.
apart. We love our job, right? You couldn't be any more happier
We
than,
do.
yeah, this. And so for us, communication and being your partner is,
Mm-hmm.
there's our words of
That's
wisdom.
amazing. Well, I'm
Yep.
so grateful that both of you came on today, and I am super excited to push this out to the people that listen to us off on the internet. But just before we wrap up, let us know where we can find you, where our listeners can find you, and I'll put that in the show notes as well when this episode airs. Then maybe not fill you up so much that I can't get a spot, but try to get some more business for you guys as well.
Yeah. So our website is theclosinggirls.com. So you can go there. You'll see
Mm-hmm.
all prices. They're all listed on there. You'll see all the different services that we offer and a breakdown of that. You're also going to see the different charities that we support. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we're big time into that, giving back to our community. So it's local, North and South Carolina. So yeah, go check out our website. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on
Yeah.
all the different platforms that you can read our reviews on Google and, like I said, Facebook, and just check us out. But yeah, go to our website. That's where you'll see also our preferred partners that we work with, and vendors.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think that's it, Alyssa. Is that it for you? Do you have anything else?
That's it. I just want to say thank y'all. Like, literally bringing you guys into my business has changed my business. And when you said like biggest cheerleader, it's true. Like Emily, every time I'm like, hey girl, I'm sending you another one. She's like, this is awesome. You're on fire. And I'm like, I know, because this can be like, and we just did an episode about this, how it can be a very lonely, very challenging business and be hard on your mental health. And especially those of us who aren't on a team, like, she is my team. We
Yep.
have a daily interaction.
Yes.
And that has just, it's not only just changed my business, like physically, financially, but emotionally too. Like, I am charged because I'm like, I've got this person who helps me. And it's just like, okay, I can do this. Like, let's go, let's hit tomorrow, let's tackle this. And that would be my, just hire one that fits your personality, that knows what they're doing, because it's worth all of it, every penny.
We will see you guys next week.
We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week. We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week.